Hey, what's up guys? Welcome back to another brand new video. I hope you guys are all doing well. So right now, Bitcoin is looking pretty strong. Okay, right now it's still at $30,000. So Bitcoin is still holding up pretty well. Okay, we actually saw Bitcoin break below its support level at $29,000, but right now it's currently back up at 30K. So that's absolutely amazing to see. And you guys can clearly see, right, Bitcoin for the past 2 weeks now, exactly 14 days has in fact been consolidating at this level. Okay, we've been seeing Bitcoin pump to 31K and it'll just drop back down to $30,000 for the past 2 weeks now. All right, so Bitcoin has in fact been doing this. So it seems like it's a very strong, resistance line and of course support level for Bitcoin. But soon enough, I really do believe Bitcoin will potentially reach back up to $32,000, of course, reaching a new high for this year alone in 2023. And of course, it's going to continue on from there. I really do believe, guys, right, once we actually see Bitcoin surpass $32,000 or even touch $32,000, I think from there on, we're going to see another rally up for Bitcoin. Just like what we have, in fact, been seeing all of this year, in 2023, you guys can clearly see, right? This year, we have, in fact, been seeing Bitcoin recover pretty well. You know what I mean? Pretty well. We know Bitcoin's bottom previously was, in fact, around $15,000, okay? And ever since then, Bitcoin has in fact been pumping, as you can see. Ever since November to December, Bitcoin was in fact consolidating at pretty much $16,000. It wasn't really moving, and then out of nowhere, Bitcoin all of a sudden pumped all the way up to around $25,000. You guys can clearly see that. So that was absolutely amazing to see, and you guys can clearly see we have in fact been seeing these rally ups for Bitcoin. You guys can clearly see, yes, we have along the way with these pumps had corrections down to the downside. Okay, Bitcoin's not just gonna shoot up like crazy. Okay, it's gonna obviously have corrections, so that's understandable, right? So it's understandable why Bitcoin is in fact consolidating at this level right here. But soon enough, right, I really do believe Bitcoin's gonna really have the next leg up to the upside. Okay, so be excited for that. Okay, for all my Bitcoin holders out there, I know times like this where Bitcoin is not really moving when it's stuck at a certain price, okay, that we can't either break out. Okay, this is time to be really patient, guys. Okay, and this is the time I've been telling you guys many times, this is the most important time to really buy DCA, right? Because Bitcoin is in fact consolidating, right? Think about it. For the past 14 days, okay, on the dot, 14 days, like 2 weeks on the dot, it has in fact been consolidating in between 31 and 30K. So that gives us time to buy Bitcoin at this price level, because soon enough, okay, Bitcoin will eventually skyrocket to $40,000. Okay, so please understand that, guys. Okay, so this gives us time, plenty of time to DCA into Bitcoin, to stack as much Bitcoin as possible. I've been telling guys, we are still in the buy zone for Bitcoin, right? We're still in a bear market, even though yes, this is a very slow beginning to the next bull market. I will say that, but we're not 100% in the next bull market just yet. We're still in a bear market, so it still gives us time to buy Bitcoin. But yes, time is ticking. We don't have a lot of time left, okay, to buy Bitcoin and altcoins at these cheap prices. So yes, time is ticking, but we should be very patient, guys. Okay, and we should be very blessed that Bitcoin is in fact consolidating at this level, because it gives us time to buy at these very cheap prices. Okay, so for all my Bitcoin holders out there, please be patient. Be patient, because Bitcoin will soon enough break out. Mark my words on that. So we know overall today the market is not really moving. As you see, Bitcoin, Ethereum is down. A fair bit, right? Bitcoin is down 1.5%. Ethereum is actually down 2.2%. And you guys can clearly see a fair few altcoins are in fact actually, dropping. You guys can clearly see that. So overall, the market is in fact down over 2%, right? 2.1%. But, we're going to get days like this. We're not always going to get green days. Okay, we're going to get, days like this where we do in fact see some slight drops. It's just how it works. Now, I want to show you guys a fair few charts that we shouldn't be worried. You know what I mean? We should not be worried. So CryptoCon, okay, if you guys don't follow this guy on Twitter, you definitely follow this guy on Twitter. He's absolutely amazing, and he pretty much explains this, right? His secrets to making money with Bitcoin and crypto, right? So you guys can clearly see if you read it right here. When Bitcoin was below $10,000 last cycle, I went all in, buying as much as I could, right? You guys can clearly see that. That's what he said right there. Then I sold it all at $54,000 in April 2021. And that would have been a great time to sell, right? Because it was in fact pretty much Bitcoin's all-time highs, close to its all-time highs. You guys can clearly see that. So yes, that would have been a great time to sell your Bitcoins, right? And that's exactly what he did. And now he says here, Now I'm going all in from $16,500 in November 2022. So when we saw Bitcoin down here, he did in fact, go all in on Bitcoin when he saw at that level. Okay. So everything is documented in his, pinned tweets on his Twitter. So, if you guys haven't followed this guy on Twitter, you should definitely follow him on Twitter. He's absolutely amazing. Okay. But he also tweets, right here, like his actual, what he's doing right now with Bitcoin and whatnot, right? If he's buying or selling in Bitcoin. And it seems like, obviously he's going all in on Bitcoin ever since Bitcoin, reached a bottom of $16,500. And from there on, he's just been stacking as much Bitcoin as he possibly could. And you guys can clearly see he's obviously doing a great thing right now, because obviously Bitcoin is in fact pumping and it's just beginning. This is obviously just the beginning. So he's clearly, in the right path right now to make a whole bunch of money in the next bull market. And that's exactly what I did, right? And that's exactly what I did. I remember back, in November, 7 months ago, I actually made a video titled "I'm going all in on Bitcoin." And in that video, I actually showed you guys that I was in fact investing and going all in on Bitcoin. I literally invested almost $20,000 of my own money. $20,000. Okay, I never do that. You guys know that, right? If you guys have been watching my investing videos, I invest like $500, $1,000, $2,000, or even $4,000 into Bitcoin or Ethereum or altcoins, right? You guys see that. But when I saw Bitcoin, for some reason, something inside me just told me, you should go all in on Bitcoin right now at this very moment. I saw Bitcoin at like below 16K, around $15,900. And on that day, Bitcoin was down like 7% for that day. And something inside me just told me, just buy. Okay, go all in on Bitcoin right now. And that's exactly what I did. Okay, I invested a very large amount of my money into Bitcoin, literally almost $20,000. I invested, I remember, 17.5K, right? $17,500 into Bitcoin when Bitcoin was literally at like $15,900. You know what I mean? And I'm just very blessed and glad that I caught the bottom for Bitcoin. Okay. And I didn't know that was in fact the bottom for Bitcoin. If you guys haven't seen that video, right? In that video, I even said, this could potentially not be the bottom for Bitcoin. Bitcoin could potentially drop even lower to $14,000 to $13,000 to $10,000, right? And that's a lot of people were in fact predicting for Bitcoin at that time. And I was one of them, right? So that just explains and just shows you guys that you should never really time the market. If you see an opportunity, take it, right? Take it. And I'm just really glad that I took that as an opportunity to buy Bitcoin, and I literally caught the bottom. You know what I mean? So I'm just very, very blessed, guys. Okay. So that's that. Now, this chart right here is showing you guys, okay, that Bitcoin will in fact potentially break its, all-time highs very, very soon. Okay. I really do believe sometime in 2024, we will in fact see Bitcoin back up to its previous all-time highs and of course break its all-time highs. So Bitcoin follows the 4-year cycle. Okay, it breaks all-time highs in each 4 years. So pretty much every 4 years, we see Bitcoin break its all-time highs. All right. So in Bitcoin history, every 4 years, it reaches a new all-time high, then it drops, and then a couple years later, it does in fact reach back up to its previous all-time highs and break its previous all-time highs. Okay, so yes, we will eventually see Bitcoin back up at $69,000, which was in fact Bitcoin's previous all-time high, and we're gonna break above that easily, right? We know the Bitcoin halving is in fact about to happen, and next year in April or May in 2024. So be excited for that. Okay, be excited for that, guys. Now, here's another chart, and this chart is indicating that we will in fact see a 200K Bitcoin, a 200K Bitcoin. Now, yes, guys, personally, I have been predicting that in the next bull market, okay, the next bull cycle, I personally think yes, we will in fact see a 200K Bitcoin, or maybe even a 250K Bitcoin, right? I've been telling you guys that and mentioning that many times, and that's just my own personal price prediction for Bitcoin in the next bull market. Okay, so I do in fact see a 200K or even a 250K, and it seems like this chart and this person is agreeing that Bitcoin in the next bull market will potentially run up to $200,000. So we're obviously going to get a bull run, okay, very, very soon. Okay, this is the bull stop number 1, and then a bull number 2. That's when we're going to really see Bitcoin pump, right? So in 2025, of course, the year 2025 should be an amazing year for Bitcoin and crypto. What happened in 2021 is going to happen in 2025. Okay, so please understand that, guys. And this is why, guys, we should be very patient. Even though, yes, Bitcoin right now is not really moving, it's consolidating for the past 2 weeks now. Okay, 14 days on the dot. I understand that, right? We haven't seen Bitcoin break above $31,000. I understand that, right? But like I said many times, this is the most important times to really stack as much as possible. We should be blessed that Bitcoin is still at this level. At least it's not reaching high and high and high, because like I said many times, it gives us time to buy more at $30,000, which is a steal. It's a cheap price, right? Especially if you're investing for long term, and you should be, because Bitcoin does in fact have store of value, right? And obviously overall, it's a great long-term investment. So be blessed. Okay, that Bitcoin is not moving higher and higher and higher, right? It gives us time to buy at a cheap price, guys. Okay, you don't want Bitcoin just to really skyrocket, right? Give it time. Okay, and it gives us time to buy more and stack more as much as we possibly can, waiting for the next bull market, because Bitcoin will do this, guys, right? What this chart is showing is true. Bitcoin will potentially reach to 200K. Okay, can you imagine like buying and investing into Bitcoin at $200,000? Like, that's just gonna be so much harder compared to where Bitcoin is right now at $30,000. You know what I mean? This is what I always tell you guys. Okay, take this as an opportunity right now to buy as much Bitcoin as you possibly can while it's under 100K, because I really do believe if you're buying Bitcoin over 100K or 200K, 300K, 500K, or even a million, can you imagine investing into Bitcoin when it's at $1 million? How much harder that will be, and how much harder it will be to accumulate as much Satoshis as you possibly can. It's just going to be so much harder, right? So that's that. Buy now, guys. Okay, buy now. Take this as an opportunity to buy now. Bitcoin has not been moving. Okay, it's still stuck at 30K. So take this as an opportunity to buy, please. Not financial advice, okay? But always do your own research. So moving on. So Bitcoin is digital gold, just like what Larry Fink has said. Okay, the CEO of BlackRock. We know. Okay, in yesterday's stream, I talked about this, that the CEO of BlackRock, right? Larry Fink has said that Bitcoin is pretty much digital gold, and it seems like Larry Fink is going all in on Bitcoin, right? So if you guys haven't seen yesterday's stream, you should definitely check it out. But it's pretty interesting. But yes, you guys can clearly see the returns, and of course the performance since August 10th of 2020, how much Bitcoin has performed versus gold, right? And you guys see gold is actually down 5%, right? Negative 5%. You guys can clearly see that gold does not move. I want you guys to know that, yes, gold does in fact hold its value. That's understandable, and it's not as volatile as Bitcoin. But you guys understand, Bitcoin moves way more than gold. Gold has been around for literally decades, like years and years and years. It's been a long time for a long time. Gold has been around for a very long time, right? Whereas Bitcoin has only been around for 13 years, and it's a digital asset that is just like gold, right? But the difference is that Bitcoin actually moves way more than gold. You guys can clearly see that for the past few years, like over 2 years. Okay, ever since August 10th of 2020, you guys can clearly see how much Bitcoin has outperformed gold, right? So for all the people out there that say, Bitcoin doesn't have store of value, think again, think twice. Just look at this. You know what I mean? Like if you invested into gold back in August, 10th of 2020, your investment will still most likely be the same. In fact, it will be down 5%, pretty much, right? So think about that. Whereas if you invested into Bitcoin, it's going to be a completely different story. You guys can clearly see that, right? 161%. Just think about that. Just think about it. That's all I'm going to say, right? But we know, okay, back in 2017, BlackRock CEO said, Bitcoin was for money laundering. Okay, so he was not, bullish with Bitcoin, right? Larry Fink, of course, I'm talking about, right? The CEO of BlackRock. Back in 2017, he was in fact calling Bitcoin money laundering. And now today in 2023, he said crypto is digital gold. Okay, Bitcoin pretty much, right? So that's that, guys. Okay, a lot of people's minds change because they understand where Bitcoin is heading in the future, right? They understand why Bitcoin was created at the first place, why Bitcoin is here today, right? Why Bitcoin is in fact, decentralized. There's no banks controlling it or behind it. There's no governance. There's no feds behind it, right? It's literally decentralized, its own thing. Okay, so that's why we need Bitcoin, guys, right? That's why we need Bitcoin. That's why Bitcoin was in fact created at the first place. And understand, a lot more people out there, a lot more different institutions will start getting into Bitcoin and crypto, right? So be ready, Bitcoin holders, because Bitcoin is about to pump, right? Now, we know Bitcoin has not been approved yet or accepted yet. So potentially, right, I know this is a joke, right? But potentially, okay, this is what's going to happen with Bitcoin. This is what will happen once the BlackRock spot Bitcoin ETF gets accepted. Okay, Bitcoin's going to shoot up. And then, yes, it's not going to shoot up like this. Obviously, I know this is a joke, right? But Bitcoin will pump. Okay, it's going to give that extra kick for the next bull market, because we know the next bull market is in fact about to happen, right? So yes, I agree. Once they get accepted, BlackRock, filing for Bitcoin ETFs. Once that actually gets accepted, we're gonna see Bitcoin pump, right? We all know that. And overall, right, if you're saying Bitcoin is crashing, okay, like I said many times, just zoom out and understand, long term, right? And you guys can clearly see the entire chart for Bitcoin is looking pretty good. It's still holding up very, very well. You guys can clearly see that. It's like a volatile uptrend. Yes, Bitcoin is dropping, but it's also, once it drops, it also reaches a new all-time high every single time in Bitcoin history. And you guys can just clearly see that. It's always reaching a new all-time high. So keep it simple, right? Keep it simple. So that's that, guys. It's looking pretty good for Bitcoin, right? It really, really is. Now, since Bitcoin today is in fact having a slight drop, clearly the Bitcoin monthly returns for this month in July is obviously dropping. So it's down 1%, okay, over 1%, 1 point, pretty much 10%, right? So it's understandable, but guys, understand this, okay, we are still early into, this month, okay? It's only the 7th of July. So please understand that, right? It's still early into this month, and I really do believe in the next few weeks, like week or 2 or 3 weeks, right? We have like another 3 weeks into this month. We're going to see Bitcoin potentially pump, right? So just give it time, guys. Be patient. Remember that, right? Be patient. So that's that, guys. But guys, I'm going to go ahead and end this video here. I hope you guys all enjoyed it. Give a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel if you guys have not yet already. I really would appreciate that. And I'll catch you guys all in my next video. Have a blessed day, guys.